people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. So, as the title suggests, today's video focuses on my favorite middle grade books with transgender main characters. So, the first book on this list is called Lillian Duncan. This book is a middle grade contemporary following Lily, a transgender girl, and Duncan, a boy with bipolar disorder, and how their friendship changes them both for the better. This book is so good, and it's so well done, and it's also so underrated, and it deserves so much more hype. First of all, both Lily and Duncan are such wonderful, well-developed, lovely, distinct main characters, and I was emotionally connected to both of them individually, and I really enjoyed their friendship together as well. The plot is so intriguing, it was absolutely so engaging. The transgender representation as well as the bipolar representation was so well done and so well developed. As usual, I can only speak on that representation to an extent, since I am cisgender and I don't have bipolar disorder. But anyway, I thought the representation was so good. So, the representation, the plot, the friendships, the characters, the world building, like everything about the story was so wholesome, and it was so emotional, and it was so well done. The story in this book are so good, and it's so underrated. So with that, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Under Shifting Stars. This book is a middle-aged contemporary following a pair of twins as they grapple with their brother's death and their changing relationships with themselves and with each other. This book is so incredible and it's absolutely so well done. One of the twins is neurodivergent and the other one is gender fluid, so there's some great representation in here. Anyway, the two characters are both so well developed and so distinct. Second of all, I really enjoyed the plot because it was so intriguing and it was absolutely so engaging. The story itself, third of all, is so good and it was so wholesome. It was also so emotional, and I also really enjoyed both of those side romances too. Like, for example, the gender fluid character has a non-binary love interest and their romance was so cute. And the neurodivergent character, I also really enjoyed her romance too. And I also really enjoyed the core sibling platonic dynamic and relationship. Like, it was so wholesome. This book is so good and I really enjoyed it in every single element, in the representation, the plot, the characters, the friendship of each other, those side of romances. Like, literally, this book is literally so good, and it's one of my favorites of 2022. So anyway, with that said, I would highly, highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called Anna on the Edge. This book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young, non-binary person navigating a binary world. This book is so fantastic and it's absolutely so excellent. Again, like Under Shifting Stars, this book was one of my favorites of 2020 because it was so excellent and it was so well developed in every single aspect. First of all, the non-binary representation was so wonderful and it was absolutely so lovely. This book definitely amplified my expectations for the author's next book, Ellen Outside the Lines, which I believe may be already out by the time that you're watching this video, but as usual, I'm pre-filming this video, so I'm not exactly sure if that book is already out or not. But anyway, it's on my March TBR, so I'm so excited to read it. But anyway, Anna on the Edge was so good. Even aside from the representation, the plot was so intriguing and it was so engaging. The characters are so well developed and they're so distinct. The friendships are so wholesome and they're so lovely. I really enjoyed this book because it was so fluffy and it was so happy, but it was also on the core of it, like a story about growing up and figuring out who you are, and we love to see it. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly, highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called The Ship We Built. First of all, there's a trigger warning on this book for sexual assault, so please be wary of that, as well as a trigger warning of homophobia and transphobia. But anyway, this book is a middle-grade contemporary following a young transgender boy in 1997 and the bravery that it takes to be exactly who you are and to be yourself. And it's also fueled by a friendship by somebody who treasures you for exactly who you are. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but basically this book was so incredible and it was so well done, and I was so emotionally attached to the story and to the characters, and the friendship is so wholesome, and it's so lovely. This book was one of my favorites of 2021 because it was so incredible, and it was so necessary, and I really enjoyed it because, again, I was so emotionally attached to every single thing that happened in this book. The plot was so engaging and it was absolutely so intriguing. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The historical time period setting of 1997 was brought to life so well. The friendship, like I mentioned, was so lovely and it was so wonderful, and it was absolutely so wholesome, and we love to see it. I personally love platonic friendship-driven stories, and this book was no exception. So, like I mentioned earlier, there's a huge trigger warning on this book for sexual assault as well as homophobia, so please be wary of that. But at any rate, I would highly definitely recommend this book. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called The Best Liars in Riverview. I just talked about this book in my last recent reads video, so I apologize in advance if my review is too redundant. But anyway, this book is a middle-aged contemporary following a young transgender character who's looking for their missing best friend, and they're also navigating growing up, self-discovery, and acceptance along the way. This book is so good, and it's so well done, and I really enjoyed it. First of all, the queer representation is so excellent, and it's so wonderful. I love reading about young people figuring out who they are, because it's so timely and it's absolutely so necessary. And this book was so good. It's so emotional, it's so engaging, and I really enjoyed it. Again, I really enjoy friendship-driven stories as well, and the friendship in this story was so good, and it was so well done, and it was so authentic. The characters in this story were so well developed and so distinct. The plot was so engaging and it was so intriguing. The setting was so well developed, and the world building just felt so authentic. Like, the story just felt so real and so well done. So anyway, with that said, I would definitely highly recommend this book. So, in conclusion, first of all, I hope this video helps diversify your bookshelf. Second of all, I hope that every transgender child, teenager, and or adult, no matter how old you are, knows that they are valued, loved, and accepted in my book, and it should be like that in everybody else's book as well. So, yeah, nobody is ever too young to figure out their gender identity. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the butterfly emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video.